Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
Conference on Merit Pay Model. The merit pay model is non-functional in this type of healthcare system, and it must be transformed according to the principle of award and stimulation, which would also benefit the patients, say participants at Sunday's conference on the merit pay project organized by Internet Service Health Grouper. There is not a single model similar to the one introduced here, said Vladimir Lazarevic, representative of the service. German representative Franz Borzold said that the model is not functional since it envisages volume of services which increase costs in health. According to Dr. Snezhana Kostadinovska-Miloshevska, from an economic point of view, this model increases the costs in health, but treatment will also cost more. She reminded that the American government was looking for another model to replace the quantity-based one. Dr. Alexei Duma stated that the strike of the doctors satisfies the ethical norms and regulations for expressing dissatisfactions. SDSM calls for changes to electoral code. If the necessary changes are not made to the electoral code and the OSCE audit recommendations are not included, and unless the voters list is updated, SDSM will not take part in the upcoming local elections, SDSM leader Branko Crvenkovski said, announcing the decisions made by the party's central board. According to SDSM, since the parliamentary elections in June 2011, the government and parliamentary majority showed no will and readiness at all to accept the recommendations and include them in the electoral code. We submitted to the parliament draft changes to the electoral code that include nothing else but the OSCE and audit recommendations we transferred into legal regulations, Crvenkovski stressed, adding that the law will be debated at the current parliamentary session. The Central Board also decided to submit to the Parliament a proposal that the entire formation of the Data Verification Commission be dismissed, the Commission members elected upon a proposal by the opposition resign or leave the Commission's work, charges be pressed against Tome Agiev, the chair of the Commission, for harsh violation of the law and illegal running of the body. According to SDSM, the lustration process is used for political confrontations with those who think differently from the ruling party. Parliamentary session escalates into heated debate. The disagreements on the 2013 budget amendments between the incumbent and the opposition MPs led to a heated debate at the session of the Legislation Committee. Things got out of control when chair of the committee, Blagorodna Dulic, decided to continue the discussion on the amendments of the 2013 budget. SDSM MPs confronted the decision, saying that it is against the rule book to discuss amendments that have not been discussed by the committee, where they are submitted. In this case, the Finances and Budget Committee. Chair Dulic did not observe the opposition's protests, which led to the interruption of the session by the opposition MPs. SDSM MPs refused to let VMRO-DPMNE MPs talk and switched their microphones off. The discussion continued at the session of the Finances and Budget Committee, where the MPs of the incumbent party did not allow a discussion on the amendments to take place because there was no representative of the Finance Ministry. VMRO-DPMNE says this is SDSM's scenario of creating chaos and problems in the state in order to appear as saviors later on. Defense Minister Besimi visits Macedonian troops in Afghanistan. Defense Minister Fatmir Besimi arrived Sunday for a visit to Macedonian Army contingent, part of the International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan. Besimi is to become acquainted with ongoing activities of the Macedonian contingent in ISAF and will wish them successful and professional accomplishment of given duties of the Macedonian peacekeepers in the future, the Defense Minister said in a press release. During the stay, Besimi will meet with U.S. General John Allen, commander of ISAF, and will discuss Macedonia's permanent contribution in building basic values: peace, freedom, equality, and respect of human rights in this Middle East country. Moreover, Besimi will underline that Macedonia supports stabilization efforts, which is confirmed by the fact that Afghanistan has secured a democratic future. Currently, Macedonia has 159 personnel in ISAF deployed on several duties, securing ISAF command in Kabul and training of Afghan National Army. Prime Minister Gruevski criticizes SDSM leaders' actions. SDSM is aware it will lose the local elections, and their leader Branko Crvenkovski is now trying to score political points by creating chaos, preventing the government from paying pensions, subsidies, social welfare. PM Gruevski reacted. Crvenkovski is interested in how to cause damage to the government so he can win the local elections, which is exactly why he will lose them, stated Gruevski. Countrywide protests against SDSM regarding budget discussions. Social welfare users protested outside the parliament expressing revolt with the stalled discussion on the 2013 draft budget. They demand that it be adopted on time in order all budget payments to be carried out regularly. According to them, it is impermissible for the opposition to keep the socially most vulnerable category of citizens in an impasse, since their subsistence depends on payment of the social welfare. Moreover, farmers, pensioners, and social welfare users protested outside SDSM's headquarters in Prilep. They called on the party not to obstruct the adoption of the budget, since it would have devastating implications. Another protest was staged in Veles by the local association of pensioners. The independent trade union of the individual agricultural producers from Macedonia and the association of pensioners from Kuchani also expressed their discontent against the work of the Committee on Finance and Budget. Stavrayanev, president of the Independent Trade Union of Farmers, said that unless the budget is adopted, hundreds of farmers will remain without their subsidies, and the further production and subsistence of agricultural families will be brought into question.
Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.